My wife demanded a divorce. She looked me straight in the eye and said, "You can't afford a lawyer to fight me." And you know what I replied? 2 words she thought she'd never hear from me. "You're right." But what she didn't know was that my silence wasn't surrender. It was the beginning of the most brutal mistake of her life. Before I continue, let me ask you this. Have you ever been underestimated, pushed to the corner, only to rise back stronger? Hit that like button if you believe justice always finds its way, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. Now, let me tell you how it all unfolded. It was a Tuesday evening. We were sitting in the living room of the house we'd built together. 8 years of paint, repairs, memories. And suddenly, it wasn't our home anymore. It was her battleground. Evelyn, my wife, sat across from me with a smug little folder in her hands. She didn't look sad. She didn't look torn. She looked triumphant. "It's over, Tom," she said flatly. "I've already spoken to a lawyer. These are my terms." She wanted the house my grandfather helped me buy. She wanted 70% of our savings. She wanted spousal support for 5 years. And when she was done listing her demands, she leaned back with that cruel smirk. "Let's be realistic. You're a high school woodshop teacher. You can't afford a real lawyer. My guy will bury you in fees before you even see a judge. Sign this and save yourself the humiliation." Her voice dripped with arrogance. She didn't just want to leave me. She wanted to crush me. I sat there, staring at the woman I once loved, and I felt the coldness creep in. She thought she had me cornered. Finally, I whispered the words she wanted to hear. "You're right." The relief on her face was instant. She thought the battle was already won. She stood, smoothed her skirt, and said, "Good. You'll be served papers next week." She walked away convinced I was defeated. But in reality, that was the moment I started planning her downfall. The hidden weapon, my brother. Here's what Evelyn knew. I didn't have the money for a high-powered attorney. That was true. Here's what she didn't know. I had a brother, Marcus, the most feared, most expensive divorce attorney in the entire state. A man whose reputation made other lawyers tremble. The problem? We hadn't spoken in 5 years. A bitter fight after our parents' death split us apart. She knew that. She counted on that. She thought Marcus was out of my life forever. But her arrogance did something unexpected. It pushed me past my pride. 3 days after her smug little speech, I picked up the phone and called him. When he answered, his deep voice was cold, unfamiliar, until I told him what Evelyn had said. "You can't afford a lawyer to fight me." Silence, then steel. "She said what?" he growled. "Don't sign anything," he told me. "Tell me when the first hearing is. I'll be there." At that moment, I knew Evelyn had no idea what storm she had unleashed. The day of the hearing, I walked into the courtroom alone. I wore my best and only my suit. Evelyn was already there, glowing with confidence, her expensive lawyer chuckling beside her. They looked at me with pity, like I was already buried. Then the doors opened. Marcus walked in. Black-tailored suit, briefcase shining, every step radiating power. Whispers rippled through the courtroom. Everyone knew who he was. Everyone except Evelyn, until she saw the blood drain from her lawyer's face. Marcus walked straight to me, put a hand on my shoulder, and said, "Sorry I'm late, little brother. Traffic was hell." Marcus Sterling, representing the defendant. Evelyn's face collapsed into horror. Marcus leaned in and said the words that ended her arrogance forever. "He doesn't have to afford me. I'm his brother." The game was over before it began. Marcus didn't just fight her. He annihilated her. He demanded full financial records, every statement, every hidden card, every Venmo transfer. He deposed her friends, family, and colleagues until cracks started showing. And then came the bombshell. Evelyn's best friend slipped. Under pressure, she revealed the truth. Evelyn had been having an affair, a secret lover, lavish hotels, jewelry, dinners, all funded by our money. My wife wasn't just divorcing me, she was robbing me to bankroll her future with another man. When Marcus confronted the lover in deposition, the man folded. He admitted everything. Evelyn's entire case collapsed into rubble. By the time the final court date arrived, Evelyn wasn't the victor anymore. She was the one on trial. Marcus proved she committed perjury. He proved she stole over $60,000 from our marital funds. He proved her demands were fraudulent. The judgment? Brutal. She lost the house. She lost spousal support. She lost her savings, forced to pay back what she stole. And the cherry on top? Her lover dumped her the moment her reputation was destroyed. Her friends turned their backs. She was left with nothing. The woman who thought she could destroy me ended up destroying herself. But here's the twist you didn't see coming. This story wasn't just about Evelyn. It was about me and Marcus. 5 years of silence ended the day I picked up the phone. After the divorce was finalized, we met again at our parents' old house. We didn't talk about Evelyn. We talked about family, about childhood, about forgiveness. And together, we decided not to sell that house, but to rebuild it. Side by side, brothers again. Evelyn thought she was isolating me. Instead, she gave me back my brother. She thought she left me with nothing. But today, I stand with everything that truly matters, my home, my dignity, and my family restored. Never underestimate the quiet ones. Sometimes the man you think is weakest is just waiting for the right moment to strike back.